Have you ever heard the phrase, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with"? This isn't just a saying. It's a profound insight into how the people around us influence our thoughts, actions, and ultimately, our destiny. Today, we're diving deep into this concept through the lens of Stoic philosophy. We'll uncover the 7 types of people who can derail your progress, and, most importantly, strategies to navigate these relationships without compromising your inner peace or growth. But before we start, I have a quick request. If you find this content helpful, please like this video. It helps me reach more people who are eager to grow and improve, just like you. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss insightful content like this. Let's build a community that uplifts and empowers one another. The first type of person to avoid is the complainer. You know the type. They always have something to gripe about, whether it's the weather, their job, or even their meal at a restaurant. There's always a problem. You might think, why does this matter to me? I can just ignore them. But here's the truth. Constant exposure to negativity is like a dripping faucet. Over time, it wears you down, draining your emotional energy without you even realizing it. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and to redirect our energy toward constructive action. So, how do we deal with complainers? First, limit your time around them. If they're a colleague or family member, and avoiding them isn't an option, practice mental distancing. Visualize their complaints as a passing storm, loud and unsettling, but ultimately temporary. Another approach is to redirect the conversation toward solutions. Instead of indulging their negativity, ask questions like, what can be done to improve this situation? This not only shifts the focus, but also encourages them to think differently. The second type to steer clear of is the drama magnet. These individuals seem to thrive on chaos. Their lives are a constant whirlwind of conflicts, crises, and controversies, and they have an uncanny ability to drag others into their storm. Initially, their energy might seem exciting or even intoxicating, but it quickly becomes exhausting. Imagine your life as a calm lake, and they are the pebble that disrupts your serenity. To handle drama magnets, set clear boundaries. Let them know that while you value your relationship, you cannot get involved in unnecessary conflicts. A practical tip is to become selectively unavailable. Schedule focused periods where you turn off notifications and prioritize your own goals. Remember, your time and peace of mind are finite resources. Protect them fiercely. Moving on, let's talk about the naysayers, the critics who seem to find flaws in everything you do. Picture this. You share an exciting goal or dream with someone, and instead of encouragement, they respond with skepticism or criticism. Are you sure that's realistic, they might say. Their words plant seeds of doubt that can take root if you're not careful. One way to counter naysayers is to flip the script. Instead of letting their negativity affect you, ask for their advice. For instance, if they say, "That's a tough industry to succeed in," respond with, "What steps would you suggest to navigate those challenges?" This turns the conversation constructive and forces them to think beyond criticism. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not external events. Protect your mind from unnecessary negativity." Before we continue, take a moment to like this video if you're finding value in these insights. Your support means the world and helps this content reach more people who need it. Now, let's explore the victim mentality. This is the person who always blames external factors for their failures. "I can't succeed because the system is rigged," or "I'll never be healthy because of my genetics." While it's true that life presents real challenges, victims use these obstacles as permanent excuses. Engaging with a victim can be draining, as they often look to others to solve their problems. The Stoic approach: practice compassionate detachment. Listen with empathy, but don't take on their burdens. Offer support without becoming their perpetual problem solver. For example, you might say, "I understand how challenging this is, but what steps can you take to improve the situation?" Encourage them to reclaim their agency without letting their mindset pull you down. Next on the list is the toxic positivist. These are the people who insist on good vibes only, no matter the situation. While optimism is valuable, dismissing genuine struggles with phrases like, "just be happy," can feel invalidating. Imagine telling someone grieving a loss to simply focus on the positives. It's not helpful, it's dismissive. The key here is balance. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge both the joys and struggles of life. As Seneca said, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future. When dealing with toxic positivity, remind yourself and them that it's okay to feel a spectrum of emotions. Gratitude and pain can coexist. For example, you can say, "I appreciate your optimism, but I also need space to process these challenges." Manipulators are another challenging type to watch out for. These individuals are masters of emotional and psychological tactics, using guilt or flattery to steer you toward their goals. For instance, a friend might say, "You're so successful, surely you can lend me money," framing their request in a way that makes refusal feel uncomfortable. The solution? Boundaries. Be clear and firm. If someone tries to manipulate you, acknowledge their point without giving in. For example, you could say, "I understand your situation, but I'm not in a position to help right now." Remember, manipulation thrives on predictable reactions. By responding calmly and assertively, you reclaim control of the narrative. Finally, we come to the time vampires, those who steal your most precious resource. Whether it's a colleague who constantly interrupts your workflow or a friend who fills your schedule with unnecessary obligations, time vampires can leave you feeling stretched thin. To combat this, prioritize your time like the valuable asset it is. Use techniques like the Pomodoro method to create focused work intervals. And don't be afraid to say no. Declining an invitation doesn't mean rejecting the person. It means valuing your own needs. As Seneca wisely observed, life, if well lived, is long enough. As we wrap up, let's reflect on an important Stoic principle, self-awareness. It's easy to identify these traits in others, but what about ourselves? Are we unintentionally playing one of these roles in someone else's life? True growth comes from looking within and making changes where necessary. If today's discussion resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experiences in the comments, and let's continue this dialogue. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more content that inspires growth and reflection. Until next time, may your choices align with your virtues, may your actions reflect your wisdom, and may your life be the masterpiece it's meant to be.